she's like, yeah, if you felt that in your heart and spirit, then yes, the Lord is telling you to get up. And so I really had to pick myself up by the bootstraps and say, okay, God, I'm so sorry. And I repented and I asked for forgiveness for staying there. And he reminded me of Lot's wife. And that's where the story of Lot's wife comes in. He's like, she didn't do what I said to do. And she looked back. And you are looking back and looking back and looking back, and you're longing for what was,
Yeah.
so much so that you're not trusting me for what I have to come. If you'll trust me for what's to come, I'll show you that the second half, games are won in the second half. We talk in football terms around here. Games
Yes, I love it.
in the second half.
Yeah.
So why would I think that I got to my halftime and I go into the field house? I'm like, okay, it's over. My bones hurt, my joints hurt. I've got this belly fat growing. Nothing's working. I don't feel well. And that's where he said, that's where the majority of women get to, because they've heard their whole lives. Midlife is crisis,
Yeah.
menopause is misery. You're just, oh well, I'm gonna get to that point, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I'm on medications and I don't feel well and I'm sick and I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah.
This is how it's gonna be. That's not how he called it to be. You still have purpose. You still have a calling. And this season of life and midlife and beyond is an incredible season that he's given us an opportunity to serve and to love and to walk out that calling. Because, yes, our kids are grown. We should have grandbabies coming. It's a new season, but he's still got so much for you. Yeah. So that's just a little bit of how I ended up from the floor to saying, okay, God, what do you want to do? He
Yeah.
said, life mandate. There's a mandate on our lives. And
Yeah.
especially right now, the world is chaos. Things that we're going through right now all point to the signs of the times,
Hmm.
the end times, the word of God. It's happening before us. I don't want to give up or quit or die here. I want to get to heaven and be beat up and bruised and battered if that's the case, saying that I was in the game.
Yeah.
I didn't quit. I didn't go sit in the stands. I didn't just get stuck on the sidelines
Hmm.
eating concession stand food. I want to be in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so many, I can see like I'm 45, so this is coming. And and yeah, I can see like from a worldly
Yeah.
perspective, there's so many cliches about it, like you said, and so many women can get stuck in that or turn to a lot of unhealthy
Yeah.
solutions for all this to numb things,
Yes.
or even worse, like the enemy would try to use with you, right? That isolation, right? But when you start talking about it and you realize, hey, I'm not going through this alone, but what can we do that is in alignment with what God is calling us to? And it's never too late. I always tell like my mom, she talks about getting old and all it's just, I'm like, no, no. I'm like, if you're 78 and you're living to 102, you're pretty young. There may be a 22-year-old
Exactly.
old who's only living to 23. They're pretty old. I'm like, nobody other than God knows what our time is. So, yeah, are we making the most of every single day? Are we stepping up to that mandate on our life to fulfill his purpose, which is to grow the kingdom, right? Make him known, but then to use those special giftings and use what you've walked through then to help lift others.